intense practice, got a lot of situations done. Fundamentally, we're learning to get better, but we got to get situationally more intelligent, how to play and how to think, allow us to play faster and more efficient. And I think that's the next step we need to get to. We're starting to get some base fundamental things down, offensively, defensively, special teams, not to where we want them. Still a long way to go, but now we got to really take our time and work situations, understand how to be a smart football team, play with intelligence, and play at an elite level, and separate ourselves because we understand what the task at hand is and what we're trying to accomplish in every situation. I think that's the next challenge this young group's got to do. So we worked on a lot of that today, got better, very efficient day, and we'll have a good scrimmage on Monday.
Jimbo, I guess this is practice number 7, if I'm right, halfway through 9, including the spring game. How would you assess where you are now?
Oh, we'll probably go 17-0. No.
I think that's 1 extra game. So
that's 2.
Is it?
No, I mean, it's okay. I mean, I'm not. It's hard to tell till you get to scrimmage because you're working situations. I see a lot of good things out of a lot of young guys. The older guys are starting to get in the groove and take the leadership role, and the personality's starting to come out a little bit. So it probably is about where I thought. But I mean, I'm not real excited, and I'm not real down. I'm not either way. I'm kind of just waiting to see and trying to be patient where we go.
Do you see a difference with Carlos this spring? Now you've done it here?
No doubt. Big time. Really starting to see the cuts, the reads. Now you feel, and they did a nice job with some pass pro. They had one that got him, but really developing as a player. Yes, and a lot of little things.
What are the kind of challenges that present itself when you go from being a change of pace back to all of a sudden you're possibly a feature back?
More carries. I really didn't consider him a change of pace back. I mean, I thought we had 3 starters. I really did. I mean, he's big, fast, and powerful. So change of pace backs to me are, you got big guys and you change the little guys. He's a big, powerful guy. He's every down back. You just got to understand you're going to get more reps. You got to be in better shape. Your mental conditioning and attitude's got to be prepared for that pounding and beating and that consistency. And when it gets late in the game, you got to be the guy that gets that first down or touchdown. There's a difference there, and that's some steps I think he's growing to.
Jimbo, you've had Kareem R now back for a couple of practices. I'm
going to tell you what, learning what to do, but I'm going to tell you what, very talented, very good player. I'm extremely excited. He has a chance to really help us. I think immediately. He's a big athletic guy, learns well, can coach him hard, takes criticism, learns well. And after 2 days, you can see the ability he has. There's no doubt.
You got him a guard right now?
Yes, he's a guard.
On Eddie Goldman, what role will he play in the defense, and what have you seen from him this spring?
He's doing really well. Eddie's an athletic guy now. He's played himself back in some shape. I've been very pleased. Eddie's a powerful athletic guy. Sky's the limit for him. If he can turn it loose, which he's learning to do, and be more consistent every down and start accepting the role that he's the guy, you know what I mean, because you got to grow into that role a little bit, has a chance to have a very special year and have a great career. I really do. I think Eddie's has it, but now he's got to keep growing and be consistent in what he's doing. But I've been very pleased with what he's done so far.
What kind of role do you see Giorgio having on defense?
I think play inside. As a defensive tackle, he's big, he's physical, he's 285, 86 pounds. He can play the run. He can also has body quicks to rush. He can play in if he has to be in run situations, big bodies. I think he has a chance to, if he'll continue to grow, to help us. I really do.
How appreciative of he made that switch to tight end to help you on goal line and short yardage. Didn't really complain, obviously. Didn't get any catches, but he did it for the team, right?
That did, but you know what? That team did it for each other. They all were doing it. He wanted to do it because he's a great young man, but also his teammates were doing things like that. It's the culture. You got to create that culture, and that's the culture we have here right now, which I'm one of the things I'm the most proud of.
Coach, is Marquez up in New York with basketball?
Yes.
All right. He's just one of, 3 guys, one more than that. Maybe Jameis plays baseball, Jalen on track. It seems like you don't mind when kids play other sports.
I think it's good for them. I think they learn to compete in different ways. Each sport teaches you a different mental capacity, not just for the actual sport, but the competition of it and how you got to think, how you got to prepare, the successes, the failures, how quick they are, how much you got to respond. I think that all develops you, and the more you actually in live competition, I think it creates a better player.
The fullback package that Jacoby was in last year, and it looks like Edwards is in now. Do defensive guys compete for that? Is that something they want to go after?
No, I think we just try to pick the best guys for it, and they like the opportunity. I think he's very talented at that. He was a backup last year and could have done it.
I was going to ask you that, but I'll also ask you about
I screwed your question up.
Linebackers. You had a couple guys that weren't interested. I think Matthew and I think maybe Terrence.
Matthew got a groin. He stepped out here on the field the other day and strained it. It was close. I said, this whole one day, it wasn't worth straining. Get out today, but he's actually practiced extremely well. Who else was it?
Terrence, I thought.
Terrence got a little concussion, and we couldn't even see him. It wasn't even a glancing blow. He had some concussion symptoms, so we got to hold him for a while.
Scooter's got an ankle?
Yes. No, was it ankle or hammy? I think it was a hammy, I thought.
said hammy last
Oh,
week.
okay.
Yeah.
But
It looked like you had something wrapped around it.
HAMSTRINGANKLE.
Close.
I
man.
can see how you
Close.
get them. And they're only what?
They're
There's only
almost
2 feet different, 2 foot difference, and a lot
connected,
different spelling. And you're a journalist.
Hey man, hey man. Something on his leg.
No, it's just I think it's a hand. You have me think. Sometimes I get so confused if I don't have that sheet in front of me. But no, he had a hammy.
while on the topic of injuries, Ronald Darby is still. Where's he at now as far as?
He actually doing really good. His rehab good. The other day out here, he did a drill and went back and pulled some scar tissue loose. So we set him for a day or 2. He's going to be fine. This was all planned. There's nothing wrong with him. He's going to be 100%. Just the maturation to come back. He'll be fine.
So is this the only baseball series Jameis has been in this?
Should be, yeah. He's going to play next. He'll miss. Where they at next weekend? Here.
They're here. Yeah.
So he'll be able to go back and forth.
And then Georgia Tech is the spring game.
But he'll miss that one a little bit.
Yeah.
And scrimmage Monday, what are you looking for from your team in the scrimmage?
I don't know, just consistency and who's ready to play and see how they step up to that when the so-called scoreboard's on and see how they respond to that. I'm anxious to see, just see the consistency and see how they've grown and we'll work situation. I'm not worried about yard. I'm not worried about touchdown. I'm not worried about time. Get guys in situations, see how they play, and try to get them developed.
Different scoring rules for scrimmages, or
no, there ain't no scoring rule. Just play the play. If you get a drive, you score. If you don't, move back and see what goes on. We'll grade it. I ain't worried about scoring.